Buildings like the pyramids are a reminder that we're not nearly as cool as our ancestors were, but we're probably all still equally weird. How weird? Just check out some of this stuff archaeologists have found in ancient pyramids. Chichen Itza's Kukulkan Pyramid is probably the most famous Mayan ruin, but we barely know anything about it. How little are we talking? We're not even sure how many pyramids it is. The strange discoveries started in 1930 when an excavation revealed Kukulkan was built over another pyramid. That pyramid was found to contain a red jaguar throne decorated with jade, but it was almost another century before we figured out that pyramid had itself been built over another pre-existing pyramid. If you're familiar with the idea of Russian nesting dolls, that's what Kukulkan actually is. Only it starts with an exterior pyramid that's 100 feet tall and made from hundreds of thousands of limestone blocks. Archaeologists have some rough guesses at when these nesting doll-style pyramids were built and say the outer shell is only about 1,000 years old. The pyramid found in 1930 dates back to around 900, and the innermost pyramid is old enough that it's likely in the pure Maya style, which means you can probably bet there's a bit of a skull and sacrifice motif going on in there. Sure, you expect to find a mummy inside a pyramid. But archaeologists definitely didn't expect to find a mummy like the one dubbed the Lady of Cao for a few different reasons. First, the mummy was buried with all the grave goods and military weapons befitting a ruler in Peru's Moche culture. Ordinary enough, but it's the lady part that's pretty shocking. No one knows too much about the Moche, but finding the remains of a female ruler buried with full honors in a Peruvian pyramid, that's extraordinary, especially considering she was only in her early 20s when she died.
Y que el mundo sepa que no solamente los hombres gobernaban en aquellos tiempos, sino las mujeres.
The other extraordinary thing about her is the amount of ink preserved on her centuries-old skin. Her extensive tattoos are one of the few examples we have of Moche tattooing practices, and include stylized depictions of cats, snakes, crabs, catfish, and spiders, along with the supernatural creature archaeologists simply call the moon animal. They're not sure what the tattoos represented, but she was obviously of high standing, had the respect of her people, and was likely nobility or religious elite. Hopefully she's eventually allowed to just rest in peace, because everyone knows what happens next. There's plenty we don't know about our ancient ancestors, and it's easy to turn them into distant, enigmatic figures. But deep down, they were people just like us, and we know that because even ordinary citizens left their mark on the world. Literally. Egyptologists have found traces left behind by the builders of the pyramid at Giza in the form of ancient graffiti, scrawled in red paint on some of the giant stone blocks. It included the names that pyramid work crews gave themselves, handles like the Friends of Khufu Gang and the Drunkards of Minkore. That's important for another reason. It doesn't really mesh with the idea that slaves were forced to labor away on the pyramids. Subsequent centuries of graffiti has been found etched into the pyramids too, and a lot of it dates from Imperial Rome. Giza was a destination holiday even then, and the Romans? They were terrible tourists who used the pyramids as a sort of massive guest book. One Roman tourist even left behind a bit of ancient pop culture that reads, "I looked, I investigated, I arrived, I marveled." At least they appreciated the sights. The Great Pyramid of Giza is the pyramid everyone thinks of when they think pyramid, and the Scan Pyramids project has been using some super high-tech gadgets and gizmos to look inside Khufu's massive tomb for some time now. In 2017, they hit archaeological pay dirt with the discovery of a massive void at least 100 feet long. Even cooler, it's positioned directly over the long hallway leading to the pyramid's main burial chamber, and it looks like it was intentional. So what is it? No one really knows, but there are a few guesses. One Cambridge archaeologist suggests the void's alignment with the massive stone blocks forming the top of the king's chamber makes it likely the space was just left behind by the stage of construction that moved those huge blocks into place. Unfortunately, some researchers were quick to point out there's probably not a connection to anything super mysterious or occultish, which pretty much ruins everyone's idea of archaeology. Unless...
Once you started up this power plant, it would have gone on for years, decades, even hundreds of years without stopping.